Hi, Woodland friends. It's Sarah and Owen and Shannon here today. And guess where we are? That's right, we're here in Lilac class. We got to come to school the last couple of days with a few friends who are starting to come back and join us. Some of us are going to stay home a little bit longer and be with our families. And that's okay too. We miss you all very much. We can't wait to be all together again soon. Today, I thought it would be really fun to do a science experiment. This is a kind of experiment where you might think of an idea and try to guess the answer before you do it. That's called making a hypothesis. Hypothesis is a very big word that means a guess. Today, we're going to guess about things that sink and things that float. Maybe you guys like to take baths at home and you like to play with your toys in the bath. Maybe some of your toys float on top of the water, and maybe some of the toys are heavy and they sink down to the bottom. I got this tub of water. Maybe you have something at home you could fill up with water to play this sink or float game.
Like a glass of water.
Oh, Owen thinks you could maybe do this in a glass. I think that would be good. We're going to try it in this tub because I thought it would be good. You guys can see through and see what happens to the objects. Shem, will you pour the rest of the water in for us?
Yes.
And we'll fill it up. Make sure we have plenty of water for our experiment. It can be warm water or cold water. It doesn't matter too much. Oh. I went around the classroom and I picked out some of my favorite things and some of the things that I know you guys really like to use when you come to visit Lilac. When I hold it up, you guys can make a guess about whether it sinks or it floats. You ready? I went over to the farm table and I found this horse. Does some of you guys remember this horse from our farm? What do you think, Owen? Does this horse gonna sink or float? It's kind of heavy and it's made of plastic. Owen guesses float. What is your guess, Shannon?
Can I hold it?
She's gonna feel it real quick. Feel how heavy or light it is, maybe?
I'm gonna say float. Probably sink.
Oh, so they think different. Shannon thinks sink and Owen thinks float. Let's find out. Ready? He fell to the bottom. He sunk. That means we'll put him over here in the sink pile. Even though he's made of plastic, he's very heavy and he sunk to the bottom. Here I found a squishy sponge that's shaped like a dolphin. What do you think is going to happen?
Float!
Owen thinks float. I think so too.
Float.
So does Shannon. Let's find out.
It will float.
Do you want to put it in?
Uh-huh.
Okay, Owen's going to put it in.
It floated!
Right there. He did float. Owen was right. Let's put it over here in the float pile. This is kind of special. Some of you might recognize it. It's a quatrefoil from our metal inset shelf. You want to feel it, Owen? Sink or float?
Float.
Owen thinks float. Shannon, what's your quick guess?
Sink.
Sink. It's made out of metal. If some of you remember what it feels like when you trace the metal inset, let's find out.
Float!
It sank. It floated for a second and then it sank to the bottom. Okay, let's put it over here with the horse.
Bottom you can't see.
Let's see what's next. A clothespin.
It might float.
It might float. It's made out of wood. Sometimes wood floats on top of the water like a log going down the river. Shannon, do you want to put it in this time? Okay.
I think it's going to float.
She thinks it's going to float, and Owen does too. Let's see.
It floated!
It did. Yay! But ready. We got to use our inside voice, okay? We're in a classroom, but it is exciting. Now we have two things that floated and two things that sank. Does some of you remember what this is called? It's a square made out of golden beads. It's 100 square. 100 golden beads. What's your guess, Shannon?
Probably sink.
Sink.
Mine float.
Owen thinks float. Owen, do you want to put it in the water this time?
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's do it.
Sink.
Sink. It was heavy, huh? All those golden beads made it sink right to the bottom. Let's see. What's next? How about this marker? It's made out of plastic. My guess is going to be sink. Let's find out. It's kind of heavy.
Float.
Owen thinks float. I'm going to put it in this time. Ready?
It floated.
It floated. You were right and I was wrong this time. Isn't that funny? I'll put it right here. Okay, Shannon, what do you have?
Marble.
A marble, a heavy, round glass marble. Hold it still. What's your guess, Shannon?
Sink.
Sink. All right, put it in.
Oh, float.
Nice inside voice. Your guess is float again, huh?
Sink.
It sank. Shannon was right this time. Good guess, Shannon.
This water's cold.
It's cold, she said. So the 100 square sank.
So I'm gonna put that one in float.
Some people might remember what color bead chain this is. It's yellow. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's yellow and there's 4 beads on here. Owen, what is your guess?
Float.
Float? Okay, Owen, you want to put it in?
Mhm.
Let's see.
Whoa, float.
He was right. This bead chain is made out of wooden beads, so it floated.
And it got
floating.
painted.
Somebody painted it yellow. I think you're right. Number 4 floats. Okay, I have 2 more things to try out with our experiment. Do you guys see how we're making a hypothesis about what will sink and what will float? And then we're putting it in the water to test our hypothesis to find out. Okay, here we have a, what's this called?
The water might turn purple.
It's a crayon. Do you think the crayon's going to turn the water purple? That would be pretty cool if it did. Crayons are made out of wax. Oops. I dropped it in. We didn't get to guess. It sank. It sank. Okay. So far we have 5 things that sank and 3 things that floated. Let's do one more. I decided to try one of our. Oh, calm down, please. He's very excited to be at school today. Do you guys remember how much this is?
40 pounds.
It's more than 100. It's 1,000 squares stacked together. Shannon, what's that called?
1,000 cubes.
1,000. This represents 1,000 and it's made out of wood. Sometimes wood sinks and sometimes wood floats. What's your guess, Owen?
Float.
Float. Shannon, what's your guess? Yeah.
I'm gonna put it in it.
Shannon's gonna put this one.
Float.
She's guessing float. Let's see.
What do you guess?
I'm guessing float. I'm kind of hoping for float because then we'll have 5 of each. But we'll see. It did float. Owen loves it when he gets it right. So friends, if you are at home, maybe you're going to look around your house and make a collection of objects that you could test to see if they sink or they float. Make sure it's something that you feel comfortable about putting in the water. I thought about putting a cube from our pink tower in the water, but it's so special to us that if it got damaged and wet, I would be really sad. So you should think about that same thing. If there's something very special to you that you wouldn't want to get wet, don't put it in the water. But you can do this experiment too, and you can make a pile of things that sink and a pile of things that float. I hope you have a wonderful week. We'll see you again soon. Bye.
This floated.